Well, as we continue with news and views this morning on this beautiful day of Jummah, we have still got a lot of ground to cover. Now, we are living in this digital age where we are so deep rooted into the world of technology. And as a Muslim Ummah, sometimes we raise this question as an Ummah, how do we benefit from technology? How do we become innovative? And this is quite exciting because this is an interview I was looking forward to. We're talking about the Ummah Tech Conference 2024, pioneering innovation and empowering the future of Muslims, particularly in the technological space. Now, there is a conference, an Ummah Tech Conference that is taking place, and actually quite like what Ummah Tech is saying. They're talking about faith meeting technology. Now, this is a conference that is going to be taking place at the Wanderers in Johannesburg. And to unpack and to tell us more, we're joined by the event director at the Ummah Tech 2024 conference, Ismail Dhorat. Ismail, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to yourself too, Inayat.
Yes, very, very interesting. As I mentioned, deep rooted in technology, and as Muslims, we need to become innovative. And just talking about this conference in itself, or the Ummah Tech Conference, and just to understand what some of the aims, what of some of the objectives are as well, and just to talk generally surrounding Ummah Tech and why this is so important. And we know we are at a very, very critical situation, a critical juncture, particularly where we talk about technology, where we talk about benefits, where we talk about risks.
Jazakallah Inayat. Yeah, so I think the the conversation and the idea came about because if we think about technology and its impact on our lives, it has a massive influence on our lives today. A lot of the news, a lot of the media that we get, a lot of the technology that we interact with on a day-to-day basis is built by people. And if you look at our history, in Muslim history, we have, you know, 500 years ago, Muslims were leaders in technology and science. And with the crisis and the genocide in Gaza, a lot of us have realized while we do have the talent and we do have the skills and we do have the resources, sometimes we haven't been at the forefront of technology. So I think that was let's call it a critical learning factor. And then the second part is we also have a very specific view of the world in terms of what is just, what is good, what is bad. And we need to make sure that the technologies that we build and the solutions we build is aligned with those values. So if you look at technologies like Facebook and the different social medias that have been developed, they developed from a very specific view of the world, and they're embedded with values that may be contradictory to the Islamic view of the world. So the idea is, how do we solve some of these challenges? How do we, connect the different parts of the ecosystem together and to solve problems for our community as well as society as large? There's a lot of social problems in society. If we look around, education is a problem. There's lots of different problems that we can potentially solve with our specific view of the world. And with our specific view of what we believe to be good and bad.
Well, Ismail, I mentioned the caption of the slogan, faith meets technology. And I think what is important for us as a Muslim is to look at technology, but more importantly, to look at solutions that are aligned with our Islamic values. And looking at the Ummah Tech conference again, in terms of empowerment, in terms of building technology that not only reflect, but align with our Islamic values of and ethos as well, sincerity, integrity, and the like.
Yes, I totally, fully agree, and I think you made a very critical point there. So if you look at, from a practical perspective, you look at the technology like Meta's, Facebook or Instagram. Those technologies are designed to distract you and take you away from the world, to get you to spend a lot of time on your mobile device. You take us to a platform like Netflix. They want you to not sleep, and they want you to watch, media, consuming media till late in the night. Whereas we wouldn't look at something like that. We would want somebody to be productive. We would want somebody to remember Allah. We would want somebody to, engage with their community, as an example, and to make a difference in the world. Time is very important for us. Spending time on things that are irrelevant and unimportant is not the best use of our time. So, these are sort of the things that we need to start thinking about. And how do we sort of our institutions, for example, our, Zakah institutions and our, different institutions, how do we support them with technology that brings them into the digital age, that, lets them be more efficient? Those are some of the questions that we need to answer.
Yes. Now I see, looking at the conference in itself, and we've seen early on, and I see the name Tasneem Mohammed actually on the screen right now. But there's a whole host of people, obviously, who are going to be the speakers at this presentation. Let's just focus a bit on some of these personalities, and more importantly, what is expected. What will these speakers be bringing? In terms of the lineup that has been set up for this conference, Ismail?
Yeah, so we've got Dawood Patel, who is the CEO of Helm, and he's going to be talking about, building sort of an independent Ummah infrastructure, and, what are the tools that we need. So we are self-reliant, so to speak. Then, we've got quite a few people who are experts in artificial intelligence. So Nazreen Ibrahim, who's going to be talking specifically from an ethical perspective, looking at AI from an ethical perspective. Naweed, who's a research scientist in AI, and he's going to be talking about some of the challenges of using AI specifically in relation to Islamic knowledge. Because if you think about from an Islamic perspective, we have a very specific view on how knowledge is viewed and transmitted and validated. So, the Isnad system in Hadith sciences is a very important structure of knowledge, but, your AI systems may not cater for that. So, how do we make use of these AI systems and be aware of their limitations and not put ourselves in a problem? So, for example, you wouldn't want AI to give you a fiqh ruling, because there could be problems with the way it generates that data. And he'll be specifically talking about that. So we've got Harun Mir, who's a very accomplished entrepreneur. He's built a business that's gone international. He'll be talking about, how do you build more things and build valuable products. Bilal Katrada, who's the CEO of IT Varsity, and he'll be talking about, what are the implications of AI on education, and how do we train our next generation of technologists. And we've got an angel investor who'll be talking about raising funding, and Abdullah Haider, he's developed a solution specifically for Hifz schools that manages the process for people who are doing Hifz and the teachers. So, it's a very unique solution to a problem in the Muslim community. So I think we need to also think about things like that, like what are the unique challenges in our community that we need solutions for, and tailoring the solution to our communities, rather than just looking at, okay, let's look at, someone's built an app in some other community, how do we just bring that app into our community? Rather than thinking about it in that way, I think what we need to think about is how do we make it relevant to our communities and to our way of doing things.
Yes, Ismail, sometimes, when we talk about technology and we get overwhelmed by terminology and fancy terms, and we think, that, this is not for me because this is rocket science. These are for experts. But we are so deep rooted, as I mentioned, in technology on a day to day basis because this has become part and parcel of our daily lives. So, obviously, I'm sure a lot that the speakers and the people on the lineup will bring are issues that we are impacted with on a day-to-day basis, and how best we can actually benefit. And just to look at the people that who should be actually be attending this conference, what is the target audience? Who is this target audience?
Yeah, so it would be existing business owners who want to understand the tech landscape better, startup founders in the tech space, students who are interested in technology, someone who wants to enter the technology sector, and they just want to learn a little bit more. So we've got a wide variety of people that could get value from the conference. Designers, product designers, project managers. I think those are the type of people. Even if you're running a traditional business, and as you mentioned, that technology is influencing in every aspect of our lives. From the retail store right up to a services business like your hairdressers and all of that. Sports clubs, all of those things are starting to see their industry is being transformed by technology. So anyone that would be interested in leveraging technology for their business, I think would find value.
Yes. Now, the conference in itself is taking place on the 23rd of November at the Wanderers Club. Just take us through, for people obviously wanting to attend this conference, what do they need to do? Obviously the purchasing of tickets, all of that.
Yes, so they can go on to our website. It's ummatech.net, ummah.tech.net, and they can purchase tickets from there, or they can go on to quicket.co.za and they can just search for Ummatech on there, and it should come up, and they can purchase the tickets from that website. And then it's at Wanderers Club in Johannesburg, and we will start at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And inshallah, we look forward to seeing the people there. And it's also about getting people into a physical space and starting to network and starting to collaborate. I attended a very similar conference in London called Muslim Tech Fest, and via the sort of networks that I met there, there's some projects that we've got
Yes, I think we'll try and get. I think for some reason we've just lost Ismail Dhorat. We're
ground
going to
on.
try and get. Oh, sorry, Ismail. We just lost you there for a second. Please continue.
Yeah, so I was saying it's a lot more than just the conference. It's also about getting people together so they can start networking and collaborating and speaking to each other, and that may spark some ideas and projects. I've seen the benefit of meeting people where I met somebody who developed a solution, and we're doing a project with an NGO in Cape Town, and that this person developed a solution, and he's from Canada. So there are benefits to being in the same space. It's about networking, it's about collaboration, and being with people who have a very similar outlook in terms of their view. And if anybody is in the tech space and they've been to other conferences that may not necessarily be, very Muslim focused, usually there's lots of things that are not Islamic about these conferences. There may be after parties and things where conversations are happening that as a Muslim you excluded from. Whereas here it's designed to be all around Islamic principles. So there's no sort of exclusionary type behavior. So I think that's part of the benefits.
Well, it is, and I think when you're talking about benefits, and I think one of the greatest benefits as a Muslim ummah, as a Muslim community, as Muslim technologists, and this is articulated very, very well in terms of what the conference aims to do. Is it's not only about participation in the tech space, but it is becoming leaders. It is about leading, creating tools, creating the necessary platforms, the right platforms that will drive positive change for the ummah and for the benefit of the ummah at large.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what we're trying to encourage. We want to encourage Muslims to be the leaders in tech and specifically creating value-led technology and technologies that are aligned around our values.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that, inshallah, and we wish you all the best, the organizers as well, Ismail, at the conference, and inshallah, we make dua that it will be a huge success. But more importantly, in terms of outcomes, in terms of the benefit from the conference, inshallah, we hope that people benefit from it, and this is just basically the tip of the iceberg. I'm sure there are bigger things, there are greater things to obviously come, and that will emerge from this conference, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ismail Dhorat with us. And just to reiterate, the Ummah Tech Conference taking place on the 23rd of November. And this is on a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Wanderers Club in Johannesburg. For more information, you can visit the website www.ummatech.net. And with that, we're going to go for a break. Next up, we're talking with Qari Bashir Patel.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help. The people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people.
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Sha'alan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salam Media on social media pages for more on this tour and be part of the conversation.